Alrighty, fellas. Good morning. It is another beautiful day to play some PokeMMO. How are we feeling today? How are you guys doing? Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to our PokeMMO stream recap, your daily source of tips, tricks, information, communication, what's happening, daily news, what's happening inside the PokeMMO community. If you like videos like this, always make sure to like them, subscribe for daily videos, all that jazz. But let's go ahead and get into the actual news, what's being talked about, catch events coming up, and what's happening inside the PokeMMO community. And there was, I hate to say it, but there was a little bit of big drama recently, but I think it was big drama for about a day, maybe less than that, and squashed. There was seemingly, a massive ban wave that went out. And that always brings people claiming innocence. That always brings human error, and it does bring false bans that get reversed, hopefully. And then it also brings a lot of people who did cheat, who try to claim innocence and make it the boy who cried wolf type situation where they ruin it for everybody else. And those people are the worst. Okay, so we're going to talk about what happened, a hopeful case of someone getting unbanned, which is really cool to see, and then all these different things. Okay, so first things first, catch events. There is a Poniard catch event on the 19th of October, Sunday at 2 p.m. ET at Route 9 in Unova. You have 1 hour to catch as many Poniards, Zoosians, Garbodors, Lipards, and Minchinos as possible with a +5 adamant to nature bonus. And then the shiny Poniard is up for grabs. You could save hundreds of hours not having to do the shiny hunt by simply winning this catch event. Simply win it, guys. Just get lucky. Just win the catch event. It's that easy. Am I right, guys? Plus you get 1,000 RP, which getting free RP during prior to event season is the way to do it. Get that free RP now before event season begins so you can buy those cool limited time vanities, make some free money, Pokeyen, whatever. Beep beep, we got a shiny Doduo catch event on the 22nd of October. That is a Wednesday at 1 p.m. ET at Route 18 in Kanto. There is Dodrio, Doduo, Rattata, and Raticate all up for grabs with different species bonuses. If you've never played a catch event before, I have a catch event guide on my channel if you're interested in learning the details. And then Jolly is +5, Naughty -3, and there's a shiny Doduo up for grabs with also free RP as always. Next up, a C-Dot catch event on the Sunday 26th of October at 1 p.m. ET at Route 102 in Hoenn, so pretty early in the region. If you don't have the storyline done, it's probably fine. C-Dots +3, Ralts +2, Surskit +1, Lotad neutral, and then all the different mixed attacking natures as +3. And a shiny C-Dot up for grabs, a Pokemon that looks really cool in each of a different species line throughout the shiny line. Next up, we have Beijing time zone catch events. These are really important for Australian players. This is your best way to show up to catch events. Australian players, Chinese players, and anybody on the graveyard shift or some sort of different schedule where you can't make the other catch events. This might actually be best for you, but it depends. I would just Google 1600 Beijing time to my time zone to double check. This event is on Friday, October 17th at 1600 Beijing time in Icarus City in Unova is the rough Google Chrome translation, and we're catching Shelmets, and you have a chance to win a shiny Shelmet or an Exceldor and some RP as well before event season. If you can do these events, why not? The timing is just tough. It depends on where you live in the world and your schedule. Next up, a Carablast / Escavalier, the equivalent of the Shelmet and Exceldor catch events on Saturday, October 24th at 1600 Beijing time. Route 6 in Unova. Only Carablast is the Pokemon you'll be catching, and you can get a shiny Carablast or a shiny Escavalier. The final Beijing time zone catch event is a Fanpy catch event on October 25th. That's Saturday, 1600 Beijing time. Hoenn Safari Zone. Fanpy is the only little elephant, only catchable Pokemon. You can win yourself a glitter elephant. Of course, everybody wants a glitter elephant, the shiny Fanpy. Shiny Donphan's pretty cool. I know multiple people that are obsessed with Fanpy. I kind of don't know why, no disrespect. It's a cool Pokemon, but some people, there is a Fanpy fandom out there, for lack of a better term. Next up, the Vanity Suggestion thread. This is decades, literally over a decade of fan-made pixel art and vanity suggestions and just really cool ideas that I would love to amplify their voices and maybe see get put into the game one of these days. This guy says, hey, what if we made team tournament trophies colorable? I think this is really cool. If you don't know, these team tournament trophies are one of the rarest vanities in Pokemon, in my opinion. You cannot buy them. They're untradeable. It is a PvP reward from winning giant team tournaments, which only happen like once a year, I believe, right? It's a really, really big deal. If you see someone with one of these trophies on their back. It is a very, very impressive feat of PvP ability, and not only PvP ability, but just like cooperation and coordination with their team. It is tough to get one of these. I love the idea of trying to be able to color these. And he's basically saying like there are certain teams like Nore that has 6 of the same vanity. That is insanely impressive, number one, but also number two, it brings up an interesting problem, a niche problem to be fair, but an interesting problem. I like the idea of making them colorable, and you could flex that even more. If you're like sitting in Vermilion, you could switch between your different color trophies and show people that you actually have multiple of them. You deserve to flex that if you worked this hard to get these. I love this one, the like globe one. This one's one of my favorites. This is like some crazy endgame PVM reward type activities. Very, very cool stuff. Next up, the Shadow Joker mask. I think this is some really cool custom made, fan made vanity pixel art stuff. I think this looks pretty neat. I'm not gonna spend too much time on each vanity. Even has an animation for it. Let's see like how it, oh, kind of like laughs. I didn't expect, wow, we already have like the Jester hat in PokeMMO, but it's kind of, I really like the item, but it's kind of dated, I would say. Here's the Jester hat for those who have never seen it. This has been around in the game since like 2013. This has been around forever. I like the idea of having a more upgraded, maybe a little edgy, like, you know, like interesting, higher detail one would be really cool in my opinion. He even made a laugh sound apparently, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. And then on a similar vein, Hollow Straw Hat. I don't know what this is from, or if this is a reference to something, or what this is, but I like the visual a lot. I like the, honestly, I think I honestly like the like yellow mask and like the top more than the like worm thing around him. I don't know what this outfit is, what it's based on, but it's very cool looking. I could see something similar in PokeMMO, if not exactly. I've talked about it previously. This is also fine. This is cute. I didn't really cover as much as like a cute little suggestion of why not. Why not? More bandanas, more head covers, more anything that allows for character customization, especially like slight stuff like this. Like, why not? I only draw the line personally at things that are. I'd rather have simple vanities like this in the game than big wacky ones that don't really fit in the world's context, even though like the, you know, we don't really have, I'm not super hard ass about that, we don't really have like a lore and a vibe that we super go for. Like, I'm not super worried about breaking our, what's the word, not atmosphere, or like our immersion. Do we really have that much immersion when playing PokeMMO? I don't really feel so, but you know what, to each their own. Now, I actually, not to disrespect this person, they had very, you know, they're a much better artist than I could ever be, right? And I liked a lot of their other works. I don't love the pixel artwork on this specifically. I don't mind the idea of like the different knights. I don't love the pixel artwork here. I don't know why it comes off very like 2D, which obviously it is, but like very like simple, like almost too simple, versus something like this looks like so detailed, and like something like this looks way more detailed versus this, in my personal opinion. That's just me. I really like this one, of my favorite, honestly, the duality faces. We already have the fact that it shows red when you're turning one way and shows white looking the other is really interesting. We already have the disco afro, I believe, in the gift shop. Ooh, speaking of, I gotta call it out, man. Speaking of, ooh, look at this, boys. The page has updated. I said recently that we could catch the vanities early, but now specials. This page, the Halloween event vanities are all officially back. That's a green flag. It's a green flag, boys. The Bat Particle. I really like the flaming motorcycles are so back, dude. My favorite mounts in PokeMMO. I like the original, the orange one. I think it's so sick. They're so nice, man. I love these bikes. I love these bikes so much. They're so good. Some people like the hedge cloak. It's been around for a long time. It's been in the game for a very long time. I think it's fine. I think it's neat. I cannot afford any of this quite yet. I could buy like a particle effect as an Ironman account, which is funny, but yeah, nothing crazy. Really cool stuff there, though. Back over to the Vanity Suggestion thread. One or two more I want to cover really quickly. Once again, this is like a Obito, you know, Naruto Akatsuki type thing. I don't know how I feel. I mean, I know how I feel. I don't super love the idea of just transporting stuff from other IPs into the game. I don't love it, but it's not the worst thing at the end of the world either. And then here's Mustang CZ, my favorite pixel art fan creator that I've seen so far for PokeMMO, doing a Mega Bayonet costume. Probably one of his weaker works in my opinion, but it's really good. I shouldn't say that. It's really good. it's just simple, and I think simple is not bad. I think simple can be a really good thing, and I've said before, I think simple allows you to use your brain and your creativity more versus just implementing an Obito costume into the game. I prefer, oh, have some sort of orange mask that doesn't look exactly like this, and then have some sort of like red cloud black cloak that's maybe a different style. Or I like the idea of trying to make these without them just existing as the exact thing. I think it's less creative and less interesting, my personal opinion. Next up, now for those who don't know, I've talked about it a long time ago. PokeMMO is recruiting staff members right now. They are looking for more staff members, and they even lowered the requirement, and this just happened 4 hours ago. I thought this was pretty interesting. They lowered the requirement from the minimum in-game hours from 500 to 200. That is so amazing. I'm going to answer that question in one quick sec, Shu. That's really interesting. To me, it shows like they just know like it's more important to have the game knowledge than the arbitrary requirement of the hours, which I can respect. But at the same time, they want to expand. In my opinion, this really tells me that they're really trying to expand. I think they've also lost some CMs over the past few years, because being a CM is hard. I always say, dude, thank your local community managers, man. Thank the community managers in global chat. You know, it is a tough gig. It's like literally the most thankless job in PokeMMO is being a CM, maybe even a, you know, I don't know enough about like head game masters like Bearminator, but like one of the most thankless jobs is being part of the PokeMMO staff. I don't believe they're paid. We don't really know. I don't believe they're paid. It's just something you do out of the goodness of your hearts and like for the community, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful, it's just something you're literally just doing it for the love of the game, which is so crazy in my opinion. And it's so much work. You have to deal with so many, unfortunately, there's a lot of amazing people in the community, but you have to, when you're a community manager, you aren't hanging out with the nice guys. Your job is to like go through the sludge and deal with the gremlins. Like unfortunately that's the job, and that's a tough gig. Someone actually said, staff room is open, why don't you become a GM? So how do I explain this nicely? The reason I don't become a GM or any sort of staff member is because I would have to stop being a content creator. You cannot be a content creator and be a staff member. I would lose my payment. I would not be able to pay rent, and I'd become homeless, sick. Like there's just no, I would lose my income. I would not be able to be a content creator. It would be a worse job, a more thankless job. Like being a staff member for PokeMMO is 100 times harder than being a PokeMMO content creator. Coming from a PokeMMO content creator, like it is a much harder gig, and there is no, it's for the love of the game, which I respect, but I'm doing what, you know, I'm doing what I can do, and I'm helping out. Hopefully I'm helping the community in a way that I can, and that's cool. Why would I go do it in a way that other people are doing, sort of situation? Anyways, next up, the big drama, the big memes. ChihuahaRaven made a post, and I want to qualify, this person was unbanned and proven to be not guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, and I think that's really important. Or not whatever. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but they made a post saying, I have 55 OT shinies, 2 of them rares, 5,500 hours. That's a lot of hours into the game, and they were banned. They were banned from the game. They show their posts, etc. And what I think is the worst part of this, which anybody, let me, there's a lot to talk about here. There's a lot of complicated things. First things first, whenever someone gets banned from PokeMMO, I always say the same thing, no matter who it is. If you did cheat, I hope you, firstly, I'm sorry. No matter what you did or not, I'm sorry you got banned. That sucks. Whether you did cheat or not, it's a hard thing to emotionally handle, okay? Whether you deserved it or not, I'm sorry. First things first. Second thing second, I hope you get unbanned as soon as possible if you actually didn't break the rules and it's human error and it's a false ban. That is really horrible. It sucked. It's frustrating. I hope you get unbanned as soon as possible. But if you also broke the rules, I hope you stay banned, and I wish you the best of luck. The problem is, I always say, most people that get banned in PokeMMO are humans, are real players. Almost no bot farms exist in PokeMMO. If you don't know, bot farms are, you know, usually companies and organizations that bought MMOs and bought games to make the currency and then sell it for real world money. This is illegal, obviously. You almost never see this in PokeMMO because you cannot load up 2 clients per 1 device. So it prevents bot farming, or like bot farms, excuse me. So because of that, almost every ban is usually a real player. When bot farms get banned, they just go make new accounts. They don't fight it. They know that they're guilty. They just go make new accounts and load up 20 clients at once and just keep farming gold, right? In PokeMMO, most players that get banned, there was a huge ban wave yesterday, are real players that just turned to the dark side, made a mistake, fucked up, whatever it may be, right? So because of that, every time there's a ban wave, we see 100%, maybe like 99, 100%-ish of banned players saying, I'm innocent, I didn't do it, unban me, guys, this is not fair, I'm the little guy, the big bad PokeMMO banned me for no reason. And it's a logic check. You have to ask yourself, why would PokeMMO want to ban itself for no players for no reason? Number two, why would they want to ban a 5,500 hour player for no reason? This player is most likely spending money, giving them RP, paying their rent. Like, PokeMMO, as a content creator, as a business, whatever, you never want to ban people. You want to ban as few people as possible because it hurts your income, it hurts your numbers, it hurts your success. But you also have to do it if that person is hurting your community, hurting your integrity, hurting the game, yada yada yada, right? We all know this. This is basic stuff that we should know, but a lot of people forget about it, right? So no, they never want to ban people, but they have to if they cheat and yada yada yada. And sometimes human error does happen. You cannot want manual moderation and then expect human error not to happen. It's going to happen. I do think the biggest problem here is how cold, and this is disgusting. This is really messed up, and I really want PokeMMO to work on this and just change this. But I understand it's probably really hard based on their like load size, for lack of a better word. Okay, wait a minute. The problem is that he got a super automated response. You should not be getting an automated response with 5,500 hours played. That's crazy. He goes to this, he makes this really long, thoughtful post like, hey, I got banned. I literally don't know why, like all these things, blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. And he gets a response. Your appeal is denied. The use of software, it's a very automated, a human did not write this. It was either copy and pasted or a bot responded. And that's fucked up. I think there's a certain level of, I don't know if it's hours played, maybe over like 1,000 or 2,000 hours played, it should always be manually reviewed or something like that. Like I don't know what the metric should be. Okay, we're just trying to solve these problems together. But a player with 5,500 hours should never be getting an automated response. This is pretty crazy. I think that's way too. I think it's heartbreaking. As I agree. That's really lame in my opinion. But anyways, let's oh no, I'm gonna lag the website. Hello? Let's continue onward. Hello, forums? Okay, I'll come back when the forums are done breaking. Okay, we are so back. Okay, goddamn, we are so back. The TLDR is Chihuahua, I think, did everything that they should have done. I think Chihuahua is 1,000% in the right here. They should complain because they got an automated response. I think they're, they did what they were supposed to do. They've been polite about it for the most part. I feel like Chihuahua did a great job as my TLDR. Now, what's really messed up is that I'm going to TLDR this story, okay? Chihuahua was eventually proven innocent. But what happened was 3 or 4 other people, and this is the problem with innocent appeals in PokeMMO. 3 or 4 other people jumped onto this post and all were like, dude, I got banned for the same thing as you, Chihuahua. Dude, I'm innocent too. No, Chihuahua, I'm just like this guy, guys. Yes, guys, I am just like him. I'm actually innocent too. And they were fucking not. Like, blatantly not. And Desu, one of the head devs, comes in to say, like, well, first things first, Desu didn't respond to Chihuahua immediately, which shows care in like their conversation. He basically said, I'm not ignoring you, I'm just gonna reply to the rest of the thread and then I'll make a proper reply to you in a second, okay? Now they want to respond to 3 other people who are all like, oh yeah, it's the same, I had the same thing, like what do I get banned for? What the heck? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm innocent too, guys. You 3 were blatantly botting on Windows in the exact same manner. This has nothing to do with your phones. It has all to do with the botting script that you all found and all used the same botting script. Given that you all found this thread at the exact same time and are all also from the geographical same region, and 2 of you we know are friends, you likely all know exactly what each of you did. People like these 3 people unironically make the world and the game worse for everyone. I'm sorry to be extreme, but it is really frustrating because it is the boy who cried wolf. Because people like that, don't direct any harassment towards them. We're just using this. I'm sorry, I can't blur the names really, but like people like that who cry wolf when they aren't innocent make it harder for people like Chihuahua who are innocent to actually get properly unbanned and proper justice and retribution. That's what's really fucked up. It is really, really, real. Like, it is the worst. I am a big advocate of, if you make a mistake, if you cheat, if you bot, if you know, we're all human. We all make mistakes. I get it. Just own it. Just, you know, yeah, if anybody goes and harasses them, you'll get banned from my community. That is a no tolerance. Yeah, and please, yeah, it's so easy and fast. You know, we don't want that here. Sorry to be so extreme, but it's really sad. It's really sad because people like that make it worse for people who are actually, it's the boy who cried wolf, where 99% of people who say that they're innocent when it comes to PokeMMO bans aren't. And then the 1% who, like, human error happens, the 1% who genuinely shouldn't have gotten banned, they get fucked. The innocent people get fucked. Meanwhile, the guilty people are making it worse for them. That is maddening. It is so frustrating. It is, oh, it's so sad. All I can ask is, if you, I've made so many mistakes in my life and so many mistakes in games. If you're guilty, you're not a bad person necessarily. You just made a mistake. You made one mistake. It's okay. Just own it. Just be like, my bad. Don't try to play innocence. It is the worst kind of people that do something wrong and then try to act the victim and try to act innocent. It is so infuriating. Anyways, the dev does go on to say, I think they should have been a little nicer about this. Someone says the anti-cheat being, I don't think, hopefully no one is saying the anti-cheat is flawless. No one is saying anti-cheat is flawless. No one is saying there's no human error when it comes to bans. The problem is, when 1% false bans happen, often people use it as fear-mongering to be like, oh, guys, watch out. You could get banned at any moment in PokeMMO, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you are more likely to be killed in a car crash or struck by lightning by walking outside than getting false banned in PokeMMO. Like, it's a level of fear-mongering. Like, if just because the odds of getting struck by lightning are like 1 in whatever 1,000, do you not go outside? Like, it's a level of, like, fear-mongering. Like, you just don't worry about it until you have to worry about it, and you just deal with the situations as they come, okay? Don't let fear rule you. It's a really common problem, right? It's tough. It's really hard. It's easier said than done. Anyways, this dev says the system is still working as intended. Nobody was permanently banned from it until today, which that is a problem. Like that, you know. Well, it's worth admitting, and it's a problem. There's been one false permanent ban from their automation system. I didn't know that. That's actually pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy there's only been one false permaban from their automation system in however long it's existed. I don't know if it's been there the whole... I doubt it's been here the whole 13 years, but whatever it is, right? You're playing not a ban system. Please don't intentionally conflict system that makes you look unreasonable. I don't know enough about this to like really comment in, but I just don't know enough. And then another person, I have the same thing across 2 accounts. All my 15 shinies gone. You were botting on Windows. This was confirmed by manual intervention. Both of your accounts are rightfully banned, and your son's account has it. This person's son got nuked in the process. Now, I do want to call out, I think this wording is really important. Where is it at? This wording. The PokeMMO devs will not ban you unless they are like almost 100% certain that you actually broke the rules. If there's a 20% chance, 50% chance, they're not going to ban you. It's not worth it to them. It's not worth. They will sit and wait for you to incriminate yourself, right? And I think this post really proves that. They responded to Chihuahua. I've already told you this, but they responded to Chihuahua. Eventually said this. Unlike some of the other cases in this thread, your case isn't 100% blatant. I understand why this was initially denied by a ban appeal staff, but I'm giving this the benefit of the doubt, and I have replied to your appeal with a request for more information. I'm going to lock this thread to avoid derailing. So I believe this is. I'm sorry if I jumped the gun. I believe Chihuahua is unbanned. Maybe I'm wrong. Apologies if I'm wrong, but I believe they would have unbanned them for this, and they're looking for more information to see how it got flagged, what happened, yada yada yada. They will not ban you unless it is 100% blatant. That's the important verbiage here. It's not good for a company. It's not worth it to them to ban players, especially the hardcore players. Those are the people that you want to ban the least, because they're probably spending money, they take the game seriously, they care about the game, they help the game, right? I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm not sure if it's an unban. I'm not sure. obviously reading it, you could get two different, which I'd have to talk to the people. If anybody's teammates with Chihuahua, or if Chihuahua's ever watching this, reach out. I'd love to hear more about this story. Yeah, I feel like they've done and the devs have done this in the past where they do give the benefit of the doubt and just unban and do stuff like that, and it's not. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what comes from this. It depends. I also have seen cases. There was an infamous case with a small YouTuber who, there was a small PokeMMO YouTuber with less than a thousand subs, and he made a video saying, I got banned in Pokemon and I don't know why, I was innocent, blah blah blah, and they actually unbanned him. And I remember being like, I was like, everybody go subscribe to this guy. He was falsely banned and then unbanned. Like, what a hero. Like, go support this guy. And then 3 months later, he got banned again because he did break the rules the whole time. And that, dude, what's frustrating is you can't trust, like, you almost can't trust anybody, which sucks. Your closest friends, whatever it may be, like, anybody can cheat. And that's, like, it's human. Anybody can make mistakes. You just can't lie about those mistakes. That's what's really important. So if your best friend cheats, you know, or they get accused of it, just be like, hey man, you know, I really hope it's not true, blah blah blah. Like, you can still hope the best for them and like be on their side without blindly believing them and blindly following them into combat. But that's my belief. Do whatever you want to do, honestly. It's your life, your world, so whatever it is, right? This is a really interesting discussion. A bit bandwave went through, so this stuff's always gonna happen. It could have been a lot worse. I think getting the communication confirming that you will not get banned unless you're 100% blatant, things like that. I think this went over pretty well. This was it was like a one-day drama. It sucks that bad actors ruin it for everybody. That's pretty much exactly. It seems like a one-day drama that is done. I think that's the meme, but hopefully at least we'll see if anything else comes of it. It's important to cover stuff like this just so people know what's happening, but don't get fear-mongered. That's the important sentiment. Thanks again for watching. Let's jump into the game, have fun, play our video game, and enjoy ourselves. BBN wants to win, and I actually talked about, I don't think I recorded a clip for it in the stream recap, but I talked about this a lot yesterday about how, like, personally I'm a more lenient, I like to think so, at least I like to think I'm more of a lenient person. I don't like to permaban people as much as the PokeMMO devs do, but it's a tough situation. There's no right or wrong situation. Basically, BBN says, I think that people with under 100 hours should have a no-strike system and just get banned. 100 to 1,500 hours should maybe be like a 2-strike system, and like 1,500 hours should be like 3 strikes. I personally also kind of agree. Where like you should get more. I think 2 strikes. I think if you bought once with 2,000 hours, I'm okay with you getting timed out for 2 weeks. You know, temporarily suspended, and then coming back and like not getting permanent immediately. But it's just a personal philosophy. There's no right or wrong. It's a personal philosophy difference. The PokeMMO devs have stated that botting is like a no tolerance. You will get banned. Like that. PokeMMO devs are very no tolerance about a lot of things. There's no strikes. They will just perma you. And they state that very clearly on the FAQ and on all these forums and on all the... So like, you know it going in. So if you know that and you still make the mistake, you can't complain about the rule, and you knew that prior, right? You should, at least you should know it if you read the rules, right? Now, I disagree with the philosophy, but that doesn't... And I can, like... I think people can petition and advocate for a little bit more of a lenient system. I think that's awesome and good, but you can't be upset when you get punished if you knew the punishment. Like, because... A good example is if you disagree with a law in the real world, that's fine. Disagreeing with a law is totally based. That's awesome. You should advocate against it in your country if you can safely, you know, all these things, right? Petition, yada, yada. Get the law changed to a better law that you think is properly fit. You cannot break that law because you disagree with it. You can't do that. That's you have to say, okay, I disagree with the law, but I'm still going to follow it because it's a law. Like, you can't. That's the problem, right? It's tough. Yeah, there's a whole other side of the argument of like slapping people on the wrist. People would abuse it too much. Like, there's just... It's tough. It's really tough. I do like the idea. You said there should also be a rule that if you claim you're innocent and are not, you cannot create. Yeah, I do. Okay. I do like the idea of that, where like if you claim you're innocent, but you're not, you get like IP banned. That would go pretty hard. That is kind of interesting. Like some sort of more of a punishment for that is I like the idea of that, because it cracks down on the bad actors. But it's a whole... I don't know the right answer. I don't know the 100% best solution. It's just tough. It's a tough situation. Every single MMO does bans a little bit differently. They're all pretty similar. If you've played any other MMOs, I think the other thing is, other side of it, is a lot of people that come to PokeMMO have only played Pokemon games and don't necessarily know the rules for an MMO. I always say, like, there's so many new players that come to PokeMMO and immediately look up like, oh, what are the best like macros for the game, not knowing that macros are against the rules, right? Because in other games they, you know, they are or aren't. Like I think in like World of Warcraft, macros is like an in-game window, like you know, it's very, very allowed. So it just depends, and I encourage you to look up all the rules. If you're ever gonna like download, or if you're gonna like try to like make your game more efficient, or like go through all these things, just look at the rules. Just please read the rules and read them in great detail, and do your research before you ever implement any sort of third-party program when playing any video game, especially like any online game. Leaderboards and things and competitiveness makes rules have to be a lot more strict to keep things integral. Here's a good productive question: what's a good percentage to sell investment? So you mean like how much profit before you can sell? In my opinion, it fully depends. I think the two biggest factors are your percentage of profit and how long you've held them. If I buy mysterious balls during the bottom out price of the Halloween event, for example, and they go up 50% at the end of by the end of the event within like a week, I'm gonna sell. I think if you get like a 50% profit within like less than 3 months, I would just sell then, and then if they ever go back down, you buy back up, or if they just go up from there, like you just take your profit. Like it's okay. You're almost never gonna time the market perfectly to get maximum profits. When dealing with a market, when dealing with investments in PokeMMO, you're almost always going to, you just want to get as best you can. You're never going to time the market perfectly, and trying to time it perfectly, like getting maximum profits, is just going to lead you down a path of, in my opinion, of mistakes and either holding things for too long. And I've done that. I honestly, my biggest problem is probably holding investments for too long. I'm guilty of that. I should be offloading way quicker. I think I've held mysterious balls. I've held anniversary chests. There's a lot of those ones I don't mind as much. That's a really cool one from the 10th anniversary, which will probably never return. But I'm guilty of holding investments for too long. I think it's really important. And if you make a nice profit, like 50%, that's a lot, dude. 50% profit on investment is really, really, really high. I would probably just sell. But you can get to like 80%. Like it does happen, but I would be careful. There's even times where, like, let's say you've had an item for 8 months and it goes up by 20% and it hasn't gone up for a long, maybe then you just, you know, 20% is also really good. Like 10% is a little low in PokeMMO, but even that can be good on higher quantities or higher investments, like higher amounts. But I would say if you've made a 20% profit on an investment, you should never feel bad about selling. That is like really good in my opinion in PokeMMO. I think this is the most reasonable take from this position, LSA. LSA says, I don't want egg hunting to be easier, but I do wish there was a system in place where players don't quit the game because they invested lots and lots of resources and got nothing out of it. For example, if you open CSGO boxes, you may not get the knife, but you'll still get weapon skins, and like that's something, you know? I agree. In PokeMMO, the only thing that matters is if you get the shiny or not. Yes. The problem with shiny, I agree. And that was the big thing, like as a RuneScape player, that was the hardest thing for me to overcome in PokeMMO, was shiny hunts are a fruitless grind. So it means unless you get the shiny, you aren't really doing anything. And it was even worse. Could you imagine prior to the encounter counter? It was even worse before encounter counters existed, which didn't exist until 2015, 2016-ish. I used to shiny hunt without an encounter counter, just had a notepad document up, like ticking up 5, 5, 5. Like back then it was like I would tick up plus 32, which was my payday count, and like single encounters, no hordes. I get what you're saying. Shiny hunting does hurt more than a lot of other activities because you wake up, you can do the same thing for 16 hours a day, go to sleep and get nothing from it and see no progress. Your encounter counter will nowadays go up, and that's honestly nice. That's something. Before you didn't even have that, right? I think I'd be cool with this goes into a different idea I've had. I like the I don't want an additional benefit. What I want is more vanity rewards tied to in-game achievements. And a lot of people have talked about this. What if every 30,000 or 10,000 eggs you do, you get a cape? And that would also help players track their eggs a lot better as well. I like the idea of at 30,000 eggs, you get like a veteran egg. You get a cape with an egg on it. And then at 60,000 eggs, you get a cape with a golden egg on it. And then 100,000 eggs, you get a cape with a platinum egg. And then one day at 300,000 eggs, you get the egg cape, bro. You get a cape with a diamond egg or something. Like I think that it's small, but it's important enough. Like we say it's small. we say it's small, but at the end of the day, I also think we kind of know how powerful vanities and things like that are MMOs. I would do so many things to get a diamond egg cape. Like we're saying it's small, but you know that people would fucking sacrifice their firstborns to get a diamond egg cape. Like people would love that shit. I love the idea of more vanities and more like little cosmetics being rewarded to you for your in-game achievements. Even if you fail and like don't get the shiny, you get some sort of progression along the way. And this could also be tracked with like the achievement log or achievement diaries, where you just have a total. We should just be able. Why can we not open up some sort of achievement log, Pokedex, whatever you want to call it, and it just say total eggs hatched on the account, you know, whatever. I think to be fair, we kind of can now with the encounter counter. Let's go see. Can we actually do that properly? I think you can now, to be fair. Total egg. Does this work? I'm not sure. Total egg. You can do total encounters. I don't know if this is showing my total eggs though. I don't know if that works. I can't tell. Because that would mean I hatched no eggs either. I'm not sure. But I would love to see more that represented in a more visual way. There's a lot of things we could do to make some of those fruitless grinds feel less fruitless without just buffing the methods, because I think that's lazy. I think that becomes gotcha gaming. We're like, oh, you know, just because you didn't get the egg shiny, well, you get this little XP bonus, and make sure to, guys, keep logging in. Please get addicted to the game. Blah blah blah. Like, I want the game to be a rewarding system because the players want to go for it, not just to keep you dopamine addicted. It's a great point to bring up and a great argument to present, in my opinion, I'll say. Oh, I almost forgot. Today is actually a really important Jimmy run, guys. Do you know why? Ahaha, get your ahahas and cringes at the ready. This is Jimmy run number 67 on the account. Woo! I'm sorry. Yo, thank you. Shout out to ChihuahaRaven, who actually came in chat to drop an update. I missed it a while back, and Rapid Stutter went back and found the chat. So thank you so much to ChihuahaRaven and Rapid Stutter. ChihuahaRaven, the person who got the ban and is trying to work to get unbanned. I hope that they get unbanned if they didn't break the rules, obviously. They said, hey everyone, just wanted to throw an update to the ban situation. I've been asked to send video to the devs of how I tapped my phone to see how I hoard shiny hunt on mobile. The investigation is still ongoing. Okay, so he's not been unbanned. My apologies for any misinformation I may have spread. He has not been unbanned yet, so my deepest apologies. He's not been unbanned. He is just in that, but I'm honestly, I think that's progress. They're having a personal conversation, a manual investigation, asking him for video footage of how he uses his phone. To me, that's like a huge green flag. That's the devs. I think the devs, when someone has 5,500 hours in the game, the devs should put in their due diligence and give them that time. They deserve at least a 100-hour, or maybe not, a fair bit of an investigation. They deserve a week or 1 to 2 week investigation. I hope he gets unbanned if he didn't break the rules. Like, this seems genuine, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. It could always be, you know, I don't know. Hopefully he's in the right is what I'm hoping for. Hoping for some optimistic news next Monday, maybe. There's no way that's true, Ginger Matt. Ginger Matt just said one of the players who got banned correctly and who Desu shamed, who was like, you 100% cheated, was one of the people who was trying to call people out for cheating simply for using foot pedals. That is the most karmic justice. It just goes to like, people's character show, if you give people enough time, people's true selves and true character will pull through. That's actually insane. I didn't know that. That's great. Someone making baseless accusations ends up getting actually banned for cheating. Who would have thought? You know, it's who would have thought? That's crazy. It's kind of fucked up how much drama we've had this year in PokeMMO, like, for better or for worse. I do always say, when there's less, there has been less updates this year since the event seasons, right? Whenever there's less updates, I think it breeds boredom, and I think people end up stirring stuff up. Whenever people are bored, they kind of stir up trouble and problems. And I think we've seen more drama, unfortunately, in Pokemon because of that. I think we've also, weirdly, a lot of us have used the drama to get better as communicators. And I think we've strengthened as a community. I think that's truer than ever. I think it's beautiful. It's been hard. It's been tough. I've made a lot of mistakes. You know, people have made mistakes, forum posts, etc. I've made a ton. I've been wrong. You know, and I think we've strengthened a lot. It's been a tough year for Pokemon. Honestly, it's been a tough year. Not population wise. I think morale wise, probably one of the toughest years in Pokemon history, and that's the honest truth. I'm optimistic about the game. I love the game. I think we can recover very easily. I wouldn't worry about it, you know. But it's been a tough year, and I think that tough year we've thankfully used it to strengthen. And that we could have just not done that. We could have been a bad year and have bad outcomes. I think it's a bad year with good outcomes. So that's a cool thing to keep in mind, in my opinion. I'm kind of just thinking about this in live time. Vincer brought up like, when will Iron Man do Shiny Wars? And he was talking about like just, you know, an Iron Man only Shiny Wars. Honestly, the most motivating thing for me to farm Leppas is the idea of prepping for next year's official Shiny War on an Iron Man. And I love the idea of getting an Iron Man only team and trying to place top 50 in the official Shiny Wars. And that will be super hard. That will be like insane. That would be a super cool hyper endgame, hyper long term, amazing thing to shoot for. And imagine, that'll be it's phenomenal. Like, I'll just save up all the Pokeyen for expert lures for single encounters and save up all the Leppa berries possible. And just, I mean, I'd also try to save up. I'd have to egg prep. Imagine egg prepping on an Iron Man account for official Shiny War, where you are literally like, my box space is already so limited, but you're like catching dittos and trying to like make breeds and just have all these eggs in your boxes that you don't hatch. It'd be really interesting. I adore the idea. It would be like a multi-month preparation to really go for official Iron Man, official Shiny Wars as an Iron Man, because you have to work so hard to succeed. And it would be also, the more years we wait, the longer we wait, the more people that are going to be willing to do Shiny Wars, and the harder it's going to be to get top 50. So like, I think doing it next year is really important. The more years we wait, the harder it's going to be to place top 50 as an Iron Man only team. I think it's actually a really interesting idea. McDonald's says you should be able to lock moves to your Pokemon so you don't accidentally teach over them. It sounds like something like, why would you need that? But why not, number one? And number two, the biggest benefit that I think of for that is the daycare. And like, yeah, I think that's one of the most frustrating parts of the daycare is if it'll teach over your moves. I think that's honestly a totally fine quality of life thing. I don't think that's like a problem at all. I can't imagine a balancing problem there. You can already lock your Pokemon, so you like this level. This is a newer mechanic. If you click this, you can't like release it in the boxes on accident or like trade it or things like that, I believe. So why not be able to like lock moves and not teach over them on accident or like I think that'd be like really interesting. Yeah, a great idea. Alrighty though, fellas, I feel like it's been quite this stream. A 4.5-hour stream felt like a 10-hour stream from how much we just talked about and yapped about and talked through. Hopefully you guys enjoyed overall. I know every day is not super comfortable, and I get that. We got to work through the tough stuff, get through the dramas, and just solve problems to some extent and talk productively and teach others productive discussion. Also just trying to do the best ourselves. Thank you guys. The point is, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like the video if you did. Dislike if not. That's totally okay. Subscribe to the channel for daily PokeMMO videos every single day. Follow me on Twitch for streams, usually Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET. Discord's down below if you're interested in that. And if you want to go above and beyond and support the content, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal and Venmo donations really allow me to be here, guys. Thank you so much for all your support. Have a great day. Enjoy PokeMMO, and I will see you Monday. Peace, Reno. Yo, what's up? Outro Patrouski here, and I wanted to take this time to say thank you to everyone who goes above and beyond and supports my channel. Your names are all listed here. You make it possible for me to make helpful and mildly entertaining content for the game that I love and make it available for free for everyone to enjoy. Thank you so much for allowing me to even be here.